So for this month, Mirror World Books is one of my sponsors. So they are doing a book giveaway. Just use the book code JOSHING at mirrorworldpublishing.com, and you will get their anthology Far, Far Away for 25%, or I think it's 20% off. I'm going to make sure I got that right. 20% off. You can get that book. Just put the code JOSHING in and go to Mirror World Publishing, which you can see right here, ladies and gentlemen. That is where we're going to go. And go there, check out Far, Far Away. Justine and company are great people. Definitely check them out. Beyond that, it is my sister's birthday today. So, happy birthday, sis. Right? I said a lot of nice things on the audio edition of this. So when you know that this airs next week, this was a week will have passed since her birthday. She is now old and ancient and decrepit, just not as old as me. Right? So
gotta love sibling like
humor yeah, absolutely.
And love.
Yeah, you got any siblings?
Yes, I do. I have a little brother and a little sister. My little sister actually turns the big 30 this year too. So
yeah. See, I'm 40. My sister's 39.
Yeah.
Right. So, and she'll be like, how dare you say it? Now here's the thing. So my grandmother, and my grandmother's love her to death. She joked for a long. I still didn't tell this joke with her from time to time. She goes, I stopped aging at 39. Right. So I go, so you're 39 and 17th, 18th, or 19th, 20th, or 21, 22nd. Right. So I tell that joke. So I wonder if my sister will follow Nana's like patterns and say, I stopped aging. I'm 39 and I'm always 39.
I mean, that's a good way to go about it. Because my little sister, I'm going to turn 31 and she's going to be 30. And I'm like, yeah, I get to give you crap now because you gave me crap.
No, yes, fair enough. Like, yes. No, it's one of those things. Like siblings can torture each other in very, very fun ways.
Yes.
Right. For me, my favorite thing to do actually with my sister at this point in time is beat her in cards. And it's not because I want to, it's not because I actually want to win. Her reaction when she loses is all I like. That's my entertainment. I don't mind losing. Like I can, if she kicks my butt, she kicks my butt. I mean, it does happen. I mean, the stars have to align correctly, but but it does happen. And I'm good with that. Right.
Yeah.
And but I will get to watch her. Just that there's that little like implosion in her head, and it's absolutely hilarious to watch. I figured out something about her a long time ago, and since I figured it out, it's like, okay, if I get you to a certain point, I will always win. And that's that's actually the truth. I figured that out about her. If I get her to a certain point, I will always win. Right.
Yes.
So
see, my sister, when she gets upset or she like gets beat, she gets this weird tick in her jaw. Yeah. And my mom, she's like, I swear that's because she used to be a biter. Because when we were kids, she would bite all the time. And the only way we got her to stop biting was my mom had me bite her back one day. And she quit. She quit biting after that. But she still gets, like, when she gets angry, gets this little tick in her jaw. And I'm like, ooh, the jaws are coming out.
Oh, she's just ready to fight, but she just knows in your case in particular, it's like, is this worth the beating I'm about to get into? Right?
Yes.
That's a sibling thing. That is very much a sibling thing. I'm the oldest, although, well, again, both of us, the way we're raised, we're both like siblings and kind of like only kids as well. And honestly, it like for all my crap I'm talking about her right now, right? I'm very proud of her. She is probably more talented than I am. I'm actually not even, that's not even like me, world-class photographer, world-class illustrator. I've been dying for the day she goes, I'm all in, because she's going to kick ass when she finally does. And, whereas me, I'm just like, I'll just fucking do it, whatever.
Yeah. Right? I have to agree. That must be like the second child, kind of like how their methods are. Because my little sister is very similar to that. And she's in PA school right now and she's kicking butt. But like when she gets done, she's going to do awesome at her job. She's great with her patients already and like so knowledgeable. I'm just like, okay, if we're sick up here, I'll call her and be like, Haley, what's going on?
Nice. No, no, again, super. We're both the oldest, so I mean, they would put us through so much shit.
Oh
when
yeah,
we were kids. Oh yeah.
And honestly, it's a toss up between her and my little brother about which one were the worst. They're gonna hate me, but I'm gonna share with you some fun stories. Okay. I have never put a scar on my sister or my little brother. Yes, I've tortured them like crazy, but my little brother. So we have, you know how kids like to have the practice arrows,
Yes.
and when you start learning how to use a bow and arrow.
Oh good
And a
God.
little backstory. And it started out with bottle rockets, him and my cousin throwing them at me and my sister and everybody. So we got the paintball gun and we were shooting the paintball gun at them in retaliation. And I don't remember exactly the complete details of how it led up, but my brother was like, "Oh, I'm gonna fire this arrow at her. It's not gonna hit her or anything." Nails me, goes straight between my hand here. Like, I don't know if I can get a good angle, like right between the fingers. Because it was. I don't think anybody could have repeated it because I was holding the paintball gun at him and I wasn't gonna shoot him like head on because I'm mean, but not that mean to my siblings. But it went straight in. Got to go to the hospital for that. And my sister, she gave me my first stitches. Because she wanted a skirt that I had on. We were playing dress up, and my mom decided to freak out because there was a mouse in the house, and she put us all on the back porch while she was trying to sweep the mouse out. She decided she wanted my skirt, pulled it out from under me, and pop, my bottom teeth went through my lips. So she got to give me my first stitches. And yeah, that's some great sibling like doing it for you.
That's impressive. So
yes.
See, this is the thing here. So your sister's the middle child, so she had to fight for all the attention she was going to get.
Oh,
yeah. So she had to raise somehow just to get attention sometimes. And as far as no,
it is true. It's so true.
Right?
Still true.
And as far as your youngest, he's the baby.
Yes.
Right. And now here's the thing. Now that you guys are older, he's probably the big protector of both of you. Right. Yes. But he's still the baby. And what that means is he got away with more shit than either of you ever did. Right.
Yes.
It is totally how it works. I still remember shit that I got nailed for that my sister got to walk scot-free for. Now, it's rare. It's not that common in my history because between the both of us, she was far and away the bigger troublemaker, like far and away. But she still gets this look in her eyes. If I get to see that look, it's like, oh fuck, I'm in trouble. I don't know what she's up to, but I know something bad is gonna. She gets a certain look, and I see it. It's like, oh no.
Yes.
It's like, oh no. Right, and that's the thing, right? Like there are some things that are universal, but yeah, the oldest one, as the oldest, you never get away. Now, because of the nature of my family dynamics, when we did get back together, parents separated. Now I got in a lot of ways, I got the better deal in some ways because just when I would go over to my mom's side, which is where she lived, I was the guest and she was almost the furniture. And it wasn't always that was not great. Yeah. And even when I tried to balance the scales, I still didn't balance. Like there's just no way for me to do it. It sucked. And as far as my that side, there are some things there, and I look at that and I go, no, you know what? In some ways, she gets the short end of the stick that way. But I still remember when we were little kids, she's got away with shit I never could have. And I remember that. It's like, right? But yeah. I'm not going to go dwell too much into our family history. Needless to say, she's become a very amazing woman. I'm proud of her. And, and honestly, today, happy birthday, sis. So
big happy birthday.
Yeah. And speaking of like big special occasions, you got a book out now, don't you?
I do. My book, Black Flames, Ember Book 1 in the new series I've got coming out. I'm hoping to have the entire trilogy out this year. Drop today. It is actually going to stay on sale for a little bit for 99 cents. It's published wide, so you guys can find it on Barnes & Noble, Amazon, Kobo, Apple. Yep. All of those places.
The whole shebang.
Yes.
The whole shebang. Yeah. No, that's cool. I've been just doing it's weird because I haven't like I'm in that weird spot where I'm still trying to turn my service freelancing into like a day. I can't invest in all the crazy shit I want to do just yet. Right.
Getting there.
But I'm going to like that. There's a very right. There's a how do I put this? There's a method to the madness. Like the thing about publishing today is there is to some degree, but there is some degree of pay to play to it. There is definitely a bit of that. But we kind of look at it like this. It's a business, right?
It
And
is,
businesses, there's always operating costs to a business, right? Of whatever that business is. So your job is to write the best book you can. And I asked this to Katie. I'm going to ask this to you yesterday. I asked her this. So if you are a reader, if you were going to read your book, what would you want to get out of it?
An adventure that I can escape in, honestly.
Yeah.
That's what I would want. That's a lot of why I pick up books a lot of times.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, that's fair. No, okay. So let's see if we go with like a secondary step there.
Okay.
How do you want your book to make you feel when it's over?
Oh. So see, this is where the readers are going to hate me just a little bit because I do have a cliffhanger at the end of the book.
Like, asshole.
I know. But I want to be like my book to make me feel happy and kind of energized, I guess, is a way. So
it's not a bad thing.
And I feel like my book kind of does that, minus the little bit of cliffhanger I leave in there. But
no, it's all good. No, because again, I've been reading about different aspects of freelancing, and one of the things I think I'm just thinking about this in terms of an author right now. We're in the customer service business, whether we want to acknowledge this or not. We are.
Yeah.
Right. So I always think it's a good idea that as an author or as a person, okay, what does my book, what am I hoping to accomplish with this book? And then how do I advertise? It's like, hey, you want to feel awesome and made of cheese, buy this motherfucking book, right? Right.
Yes.
Right. But, or whatever we want to make people feel. Like, I know, like, for example, when I do the ad for Lights Out, I'm going to be talking about the theme of happiness and exploring like the human soul. And
yes, and it will cover it very good.
Yes, because that's exactly what the book's about, right? Yes. It's what the book is really about. It's a homage to something that's come before, but also it's its own unique thing. So what am I doing? I am acknowledging a classic I loved in a very fun way, but I also want you to ask questions about the nature of the world today and how we're living. And that's what I'm wanting to do. I want to make you watch, wait, and wonder. So all my advertisements are going to make you about watch, wait, and wonder, because
that is great.
That makes sense, right? That makes a lot of sense. Right.
And going off of that, I think my book, I really wanted to make the reader feel empowered, especially because it's a strong female character and that they can take control of their lives, even if they feel like they have no control.
So there's your advertising campaign.
Yeah.
Right there. See? Right.
I like how you made my brain work. Like that, like.
Well, no, because this is something authors don't think about. Like, I wrote the book. Congratulations. Yeah. Right. I mean, don't get me wrong. That's impressive. But a lot of authors go, well, what's it about?
Yeah.
And the thing, yeah, there's this big thing. Because here's the downside. This is the only downside to books. Okay. I don't know if the book is going to be worth my time until I read it. You're asking me to invest at least an hour of my time to decide one way or the other if the book's worth reading. So how do I make it worth my time? Like, what am I looking for? What is the feeling? Yeah, escape can be part of it for sure. But escape into what? Right? It's Where are you going? What are you feeling? What are you... And these are things I've been thinking about in the last year. Now, again, I can't quite play the way I want to yet, but I'm going to be trying some stuff a little bit later this year. And when I do, it's going to be like, we're going to see what because advertising storytelling too, at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to see what stories make people go, yeah, or fuck you, or, you know.
That's a good way to look at it though. Cause I don't think I've ever looked at advertising like that. And that makes it have like, I can see it in a whole different light now. So
yeah, because people think the word sales is like this terrible taboo word. Yeah. But the truth of the matter is, the reality is, you're in a customer service business, and here's what customer service is all about: relationships. As dumb as that, I mean, again, it's really simple, straightforward, right? So if you look at the business model of being an author, then your job is to connect to as many readers as possible in a way, and specifically your readers. How do you get them? Well, what's your books trying to make people feel? it's a good way of looking at it. I'm not saying it's the perfect answer either, because you might say, hey, this will make you feel wonderful, and somebody will come back to you like a week later. This book didn't do that. This book made me feel like ass. This book made me feel like ass. I mean, you're gonna get that. I mean, that's just gonna be part of the deal. But the idea is it's like you're advertising an experience. So your advertising should be a story about the experience you're telling. I don't know. It just seems like a really, like, it's storytelling. And when I make advertising storytelling, I can do that shit.
Yeah. That's how, like, I'm like, my brain's like working overtime now. I'm like, okay, hey, that's like a whole different way for advertising. Cause my brain instantly goes into this, oh, we got to advertise, market, kind of like thing.
But yeah. Whereas I just gave you an idea, right?
You did. Yes.
Yeah. I just gave you a very simple way of approaching it. Now, some of what I'm saying is going to work. Some of it is going to be like, nah, but the whole point when you do books, or like a lot of people think the book being good is enough. That there is some truth to that. There is some truth to that. But the reality of the situation is there's a lot of good books out there. Like, I'm reading Catherine Hudson right now. She's really good. I just finished Charles Lent. Charles Lent as an indie author still doesn't feel right, by the way. It just doesn't. Right? So, but he is. So is Alana Andrews. I mean, and these are the people you're going against. And I'm not saying that in like the terms of, I know what I'm going to get with an Alana Andrews experience. Why? Because I've read her stuff. Right? And everybody who's listening is like, you read Alana Andrews? Yes. Her urban fantasy is awesome. Or their urban fantasy, I should say, is awesome. Yeah. Right? But again, I know what the experience is going to be when I get in. So then, then my job then as a businessman, customer service representative, blah, 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 is how can I look at my books and go, okay, this is the experience I want you to have, and give a glimpse of that. And if I can do that, holy shit, I might have something where people are like, I want to know more. And that's when they make that connection. And that's when you can meet people, and suddenly you have fans and super fans, and you can't go anywhere anymore like Stephen King. But that's it. Like, people know what to expect with that experience, right? So, and that's how I think authors get intimidated by sales. And I've never understood why, because there's pressure. There's kind of pressure to make money, but really what you're doing is you're trying to tell a story that people will read or listen to or engage in.
Yeah.
That's what marketing is when you get right down to it.
Yeah. That is.
I put a lot of thoughts in your head, didn't I?
You did. I'm sitting here just like processing it all. I'm like, okay, like a whole new thing to marketing now. Got it. Like,
you're like, I never thought of it this way.
Yeah,
why didn't
I didn't. Yeah, and I'm kind of like, well, but I am still relatively new at the whole author world. I've only been published for, I think it'll be 2 years.
That's awesome.
No, wait. Yeah, 2 years in March. So, I mean, I've been busting my butt trying to like get myself out there and everything. So I'm still like in the learning process.
Oh, sure.
So,
yeah, no, like I'm going to be playing with Bookbub. Like, that's going to be one of the first places I'm going to play with, because I look at it and I think it's a cleaner Goodreads. That's how I look at it. It's a cleaner Goodreads. Goodreads is a great place too, but I just look at it. It's like, it looks like a big giant cluster. I'm sure there's a way to do it, but and I mean, I need to be better at Goodreads. I'm acknowledging this, ladies and gentlemen, but right?
I've been using Goodreads more, but I sat, because Anita Stewart, she did a video the other day about Bookbub, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna actually kind of play around with that and figure it out. And I actually set up some ads. I'm gonna see how they go, because I've been working on my Amazon ads too, and I'm actually doing the Amazon ad challenge this week. For you guys that want to hop in and do it, it's there, it's free. But anything to improve that, I'm just playing around with Bookbub to see if maybe I get more interaction with everybody there, because I feel like everybody's moving more to Bookbub versus Goodreads, and I've had more interaction, like newsfeed and stuff wise on it.
Yeah, no, like that's just how it works. Like, I think there's, again, I think every social platform, there's like a little bit of engagement on the required, and I'll be blunt, like Goodreads is like, did you look at it and it's like, I have more fun on Reddit. like Reddit's way more fun because you can find your niches like really easy on Reddit. But, But Goodreads, it's like I don't know. I kind of feel like it's a jungle, and I just looks at it, and then it takes you to somewhere else, and you're like,
yes,
this wasn't what I thought this was.
Why exactly. Yeah. I feel like you get lost, and you're like, wait, what?
The rabbit holes, ladies and gentlemen, that is yes. For authors, it's Goodreads and YouTube, and because YouTube is a drug, is a wonderful drug. That's okay. It's another digression. So, what book is this for you? What number
is book? I had it figured out earlier. I think 6, I believe. So yeah, it's completely. It's a little bit darker, more adult version because my earlier series that I've been working on, I still have 2 books planned to come out, but I've needed a break from it. It's more of a young adult kind of dark, not so much dark fantasy, young adult fantasy, romance, paranormal kind of mix. Because I do mixed genres when I write. There's no sticking to like one thing. I can't do it. And this one's more dark fantasy, kind of steamy romance for the people that love smut like me. So
that's right. That's right. That's right. I'm Madilynn. I love smut. There's a T-shirt there. I'm just saying.
Yay! I've also been working on trying to create swag on Redbubble, so I might have to do that.
Actually here. I should show you mine. I have swag on Redbubble.
Sweet.
Yeah. So I'll take you. I'll take you to my. I'll send you. I'll just put it up here for folks that are curious.
Yeah.
I don't advertise this very much because it's got its own little. Like I said, I am. It's not my focus, and that's the thing. Like you have to pick and choose what your battles are. But I'll send you the link. There's a unicorn that farts rainbows T-shirt there.
Yes. Yes. That's funny. I love it. Yeah, I've just kind of started messing around with it in the spare time I have, which is very, very little right now.
So no, it's all good. No, it's all good. I have more time, but it's narrowing. Like I said, I seem to be doing more shows, and I'm getting paid to do more shows.
I love the unicorn. That is awesome.
Yes, that is amazing.
Yes, it is. Holy cow.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to get me some of that. That's cool.
That's right, folks. I have swag. It's true. I just don't advertise it enough because, frankly,
it's fun to make the swag.
Oh no, it totally is. It's just, it's one of those things. Like I think again, same thing. You're telling a story in a panel or a word or something to that effect. The unicorn in my case, it was a. I used to call my day job the Sparkle Muffin because it was just
nice.
Because that's what I used to call it, and I used to say sparkle because it when you don't care about the environment, again, when you're not worried about being in control of the environment of whatever you're in, it's a lot easier to get along in life. Mm-hmm. I find because if everybody gets like mad at each other, like, oh my God, you're doing this, like, you can't control any of that shit. And so why are you so upset? Move on.
Yeah.
Right. Move on. Right. It's better to focus on what you can control and not what you can't, what you can't. Like, it's probably one of the best pieces of advice I saw on an interview. Control your controllables. That's all you can do. The rest is just, you can get outraged, I guess. But the truth of the matter is I'm not. Like, I'm just not. It's just one of those things where I just look at it. It's like, I don't really. It's not my place to tell you what to do. It's not my place to. So I'm not going to. I'm just going to encourage people to do wonderful things, and that's it. Right? That's it. That's all I'm
the best way to go, honestly. So.
Yeah. I'm certainly not a role model. That's for sure. But that's okay. That's another thing. Right? I feel hypocritical telling people what to do if I can look at myself and it's like, would I do that? Probably not. So why would I tell someone to do? Like, it just doesn't.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That's when you throw management wants me to tell you this, but really.
So I have I have a solution. So it is my job to tell you this. I personally don't give a shit, but.
That's a better saying. I like it.
Yeah, but it's my job to say this. So I am saying this because it's my job. Because I'm going to have that much integrity. But let's be blunt and let's be honest. doesn't mean it's worth a damn, you know?
Yeah.
Right. And what like that's the thing. If you ever worked in a job where you've seen it, it's like, so this makes no sense. Yes, it doesn't make any sense. Right. So, and then you look at that and you go to yourself, well, then why are we doing this? Drugs. That's the answer. They're on drugs and they're not sharing because I don't understand. Right. Right. That's the thing. It's like I look at that. It's like you're on drugs. I'm not sure what drugs, but you're on them. And I'm curious if I want them or not because I don't necessarily want to think like you.
Yeah.
Right. At the same time, I feel like I should know what they are simply because, so I can avoid them. All right. So at all costs.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But again, we've definitely gone down the toilet here. Went from unicorn farts to
We did. Yes, we did.
We
Rabbit
did.
hole. Another rabbit hole.
So this show is filled with lots and lots of rabbit holes.
It is, but it's so fun. So
yeah, it's it. So this is your sixth book, and so first off, that's amazing. I can do maybe 2 books a year. That's 3 books and 2. That's 3 books and 2 every year. That's impressive.
It's exhausting too.
Yes.
Impressive, but exhausting. Like I actually and I'm shooting. My goal is to have 4 released this year. We're gonna see how that goes. But yeah, so I'm just gonna keep writing when I can.
Yeah. So you again, Madilynn Dale, the creative genius with a K.
Oh,
Yeah.
giving me too much credit.
No. You finished 6 projects that are not easy. Let's actually blow a little smoke up your asses. So let's do this a little bit. You finished 6 books, and I'm someone that has done that himself. It's not, even though my books are nothing like what you've done, right? It's not easy to finish a project that any project whatsoever, and to put out the work, the effort, the time. Hey,
Hi, Anita.
Hey, very late. Hi, Anita. How you doing? But no, it's one of those situations. Yeah, Anita, we were initially going to go a little later in the day, but we didn't want to. We didn't want to have another repeat of last time, where a certain somebody would hold us again. You're praised in the universe when a 3-year-old can hold you hostage. That's totally
that's true. No present jumping in the background or anything this time. So.
Yeah, it's actually kind of strange this time a little bit because like I'm expecting the noise and it's like, go play with this, go do this, and that's the other reason why it's so impressive too. Actually, I'm guessing you're writing full time at this point.
Kinda. I mean, as full time as I can get with managing that house, taking care of all my rescue pets and my child, and keeping him going into all of his extracurriculars. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. So it's kind of like a split down the middle.
Full time superhero, full time writer. There you go. We'll do that. That like smut. That's totally
absolutely
that's how we'll do this. Like, that should be your t-shirt. Madilynn Dale, superhero, the smutty superhero. There you go. There's a tagline for you.
I like it. Which I'm actually not reading smut right now. I'm reading Joe Compton's book right now. I'm starting his series. Joe's books it's pretty good so far. So
Joe is way more talented than he gives himself credit for.
Oh yeah, the way his world building and the way he's describing his characters so far, I'm just like, holy cow! You would not expect this. Like, just chatting to him that he created this masterpiece. So
dude's a deep dude. He's got a lot of interesting history, and like I said, get to know him a little bit better. He like I said, been a lot, seen a lot. One of the gentlest guys you'll ever meet, but also very uber talented, and I'm hoping more people recognize it for what it is.
Oh yeah,
so
definitely.
Yeah, but that's cool. Like for me, I'm reading Catherine Hudson right now, which is she's a hoot. I'm also reading I am reading Anita's in short fiction collection, one story at a time. Very murdery, very, very murdery.
Hers is on my TBR. I have so many books on my TBR by so many great authors. I'm just like, I'm gonna get there, guys.
Yes. No, I made it a goal to read like I read comics and stuff too. My goal is to read 4 books in a month. That's it. I'm not
That's
gonna go
good.
beyond. I'm not gonna go beyond that. Like if I could do, that's great. I mean, I'm not gonna be like, I'm not gonna poo poo if I read more than that. But
Yeah.
I'm pretty real. Like at this moment in time, my investment to go expose myself to a whole bunch of different things. Like I don't watch TV anymore. I gave that up. You're
That's
like,
easy
yeah,
too. Yeah. No,
yeah.
well, okay, my TV watching consists of mostly playing cartoons for my child.
That that
So,
that so yes, again, your child has taken over your life. There you
and,
go.
yeah, so I'm like, okay, because I plan to watch the new season of The Witcher at some point.
I
It's
still
gonna
wanna
be a
watch
while.
I would like to watch The Wheel of Time. I don't know if I'm going to watch The Wheel of Time.
I
It's
saw the
kinda
first 2 episodes, but I haven't gone back to it because
I
honestly, I kind of don't have the time for it. And it
no,
didn't interest me that much at first, honestly, because it was
I
cool, but like I think I would like the books better.
I'm a Robert Jordan guy. That was my first fantasy series. I feel like I should just try it once,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Like it's just one of those things where I just look at it and go, like here's the thing, and this is probably the unpopular. It's popular now, but when it started, I tried Game of Thrones the first couple of episodes, and I
Mm.
said I'm just gonna read the books.
I
That's
haven't
it.
watched it or read the books yet, so I have the first book, and I keep telling myself I'm going to read it, but it's still sitting on the bookshelf up here.
I'm gonna be honest with you. The first 3 books are amazing.
Are they?
They're absolutely incredibly.
Sweet.
They are amazing. However, after about the 3rd book, you're
Mm.
gonna you're gonna have a little come to Jesus moment with
Oh no.
with the series, and then you're gonna realize something, and you're gonna be like, nope, I'm out. That's what happened to me. Like I did read Feast of Crows too. Like I actually met
Mhm.
George R. R. Martin. Right, I did.
Nice.
Yeah, I met him. But I was this was back in my like gamer nerd days when I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh. Yes, folks, I played Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh, dude, I remember Yu-Gi-Oh. So
Yeah,
my little brother loved it. I never could get into it because I was more like Pokemon obsessed and Digimon kind of stuff. So,
Pokemon and Pokemon's still going. Yu-Gi-Oh
oh
is not.
yeah,
So yes,
I'm still kind of Pokemon obsessed. So we'll be honest there.
okay. So we'll talk about that in just a second. But because I gotta go tell the story of how I met George. So there was this Magic tournament. There was not a Magic Yu-Gi-Oh tournament I was gonna play. I was all ready to go. All right. I show up and I find out that George R. R. Martin is there. I've never thrown matches so fast in my life. I didn't play well on purpose. I just was like, you know what? Just beat me. I want to go to that. I'm done. I'm not.
Yeah. I mean,
See,
I don't blame you, but
yeah, no. I just wanted that was literally what happened. Like that day, I was not interested in playing in the tournament. I was much more interested in like going to that because like, whoa, it's George R. R. Martin. So I got the first 3 books in storage, storage locker somewhere, autographed by George R. R. Martin because I met him. I did meet him. This was before he became uber big. This was just before then. He was still big. We hadn't
yeah.
hit uber big yet. That was coming. He was reading from the time from a Feast for Crows because I hadn't come out yet, and it was interesting because he was talking about good guys, bad guys. I didn't want to do good guy and traditional good guy, bad guy stuff, and I get that. Unfortunately, I think again you have but after reading those first 3 books, I recognized the come to Jesus moment. There, it's like, oh, I'm not sure you can. I'm not sure this structure is going to entail a consistent arc the whole way through, and as a result, it's like, now he's got 2 more books still to come out. I don't know if they're ever going to come out at this point.
Yeah.
But that's kind of where he's at and what he's doing and all that stuff. And I say all that just because that was how I met him. Right, that's how I met him. I literally I showed up to a hotel to play a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament. Right. Oh, I know why it takes so long to finish the series. And do you want to hear it? Do you want to hear like how he writes? He talked about that. So some days he'll write like he still writes a lot of words in a day. He does. So let's look at 3,000 words and go, that's great. And the next day he'll wake up and he'll just say, no, this is shit. Takes it right out. And then and all that other stuff I wrote, that's garbage too. Right. So you look at that and you think to
Yeah.
yourself, right? That's what he does. He's such a perfectionist. Pat Rothfuss has a similar issue in the sense that again, trying to make the best, create that best possible experience for your customer. But there comes a point too. It's like, dude, seriously, I really want to read this, but at the same time, can we get there? I mean, even the Dark Tower finished. So I mean, Wheel Time's over. Like I got my experience there. It was great. Can I have yours? Because I really want to see it. For and that sounds really selfish to me a little bit, but yeah, yeah. But that's what happens, right? You have this tendency. Like there is a certain point where the expectations wane. Now the show also killed it a little bit too because you got an ending that people looked at and said, "Nope, that wasn't consistent with everything you did at all." Right? And this is why in North America you try not to leave it up to a studio to finish a show, even if they don't, because they don't know how to tell a good story. They tell the story that fits a certain, again, accountants run Hollywood, not creatives, and it shows in some of the products that come out.
Yep, it does.
Creativity in Hollywood is sometimes a miracle. Sometimes just it's a miracle in of itself. But I'm not here to bash Hollywood because who knows? Someday I may end up working for them somehow, some way. And again, go back to that management thing. It's my job to say this. So I'm going to say it because it's my job. But do I really think this? Probably not.
Yeah.
But anyway, moving on. Pokemon, huh?
Yes. I was kind of obsessed. Well, I was super obsessed with it when it came out. Still enjoy it, playing the games on occasion. I don't get to play the games as much since I have my son, but like
they're going to be.
We've introduced him into Pokemon, and he loves it so far.
So did you get like the old Game Boy game? Remember, everybody had to go in line to download the Mew code. Do you remember that?
I do remember that. I have my old Game Boy. It's in I want to say it's in the attic in like a little plastic tote because I went and found it, and I have.
You have
quite a few of the old games. I don't remember which ones for sure. A lot of them don't really work anymore though, because I was not gentle on them.
Oops.
So, but it's all in. It's kind of all in a plastic tote. I'm keeping it safekeeping. So my Nintendo 64 still works because I tested that out, but it does not look like awesome on the new TVs. So.
No, you have to go back to an old. You got to connect it to an old wire to make that stuff work. So I will probably never get a new TV. I've already kind of made the decision. Not going to do it.
Well, I mean, if you're not using it, I don't blame you at all.
No, I don't. I don't. Like I got something for Steam, and I'll do the Steam till the end of time, and the rest can. Yes. The only reason I want a television back is I do at some point want to play my video games again. I mean, I have all my stuff in a storage locker. Yeah. I think this year I'm probably at some point going to have an apartment somewhere. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah. So like somewhere just like I'm not going to say settle down per se, but at least I'd like to be around my stuff again. The stuff I kind of like I miss my Aurora. My sister got me like a little thing of a globe. I still kind of want. I have my dad's Bible.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I have my dad's Bible in storage right now. I have I have cool shit like that I kind of want to get my hand. I have also my grandfather's chest there. So that's that's the shit
cool. Yeah,
that's the stuff I care about. Beyond that, to be perfectly honest with you, I'd like to sell some of that stuff. But the rest of it, I don't care about as much. Yeah, like that's the thing. Like you come around and you realize something about life. Like you carry a lot of cool memories. And that's where we keep a lot of stuff. But then you come to a point sometimes in life where you're like, the memories are still there, even if you don't have that stuff.
Hence the declutter process.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Nintendo 64 Mario Kart.
Yep. I dominated that until I met my husband. His competitive streak is way more than mine. And I was like, you know what? I don't even care anymore. You're better than me at it. So
I knew all the cheats. Like I knew all the cheats.
I believe it.
Yeah, no. So there's a couple tracks. Do you remember the first one, Star Cup? The big. I can't remember what it's called.
I
So
don't either off the top of my head, but yes, I
yeah,
remember.
yeah,
Like it's playing in my head right now.
yeah. So if you the third bump, if you hit it right, you actually cut half the track off. Like, oh yeah, it saves
That would
you
make sense. Like,
right. Yeah. I mean, you can do it. Like, I mean, I played a buddy. They wanted to play me Mario Kart, and when I did that shortcut the first time, they kind of felt like, okay, he's not in our league. No, I'm not.
Nope. League above.
Yeah. Rainbow Road has a similar thing too. You can do
Yes,
that.
it does. I did that one. I'm terrible about that one. My siblings hated me, so they quit playing with me.
No. So that one, but see that one, you have a tendency like to overshoot because you'll go up and then you'll fall and you hit sometimes you'll bounce. It's like, oh no,
yeah,
it happens. But even with the bounce, you still save so much time.
You do.
It's ridiculous, right? And it's like, but if you hit it just right, it's amazing. You're like, wow, I'm about 40 seconds ahead of everybody else, at least.
Yes. And
So
it makes a big difference. Yes.
Yeah. Have you done it backwards? Because you can do it backwards.
No.
So so if you beat all the circuits, they unlock everything in reverse. Everything goes in reverse. Everything.
Trying to think if I ever did. I may have then. It's been so long since I've played it.
So again, I think the most terrifying track of all is the one where the cars are coming at you. And is in that one you're going with traffic when you first race it?
Yes.
So when you go in reverse, the trucks are actually, you can see them coming to hit your ass. See, again, I love Mario Kart. Mario Kart was my shit.
Yes, it was fun. So we played that forever, and then Diddy Kong Racing kind of took its place too.
Really?
So, yeah.
Really?
Not like completely, but we moved after we beat that one and played the crap out of it. We moved to that one. So, I'm trying to think. We just played so many of those games.
Well, that's the thing about the 64 was the perfect family system in the sense that you could play. You had Mario Party, you had Mario Kart, you had. Now, I don't technically count this as a fighting game because although it is a fighting game, it's just also one of the most button masher ones of all. Super Smash Brothers was on there, which was sweet, right?
Yes.
My favorite game though from that, I had two of them. WWE No Mercy, because that's the craziest wrestling roster in history. It's still one of the best wrestling games ever. And two, Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time is an amazing game.
I never got to play it, but my husband played it, and that's all he talks about still. So
it's one of the best Zelda games of all time. It is still holds up. It still holds up, and it's super fun, right? It's stupid fun game. Oh, yeah. The water temple is ridiculously hard, though. Just fair warning to you. If you ever do it, it took me like a month to figure out the water temple.
Oh man, it's gonna be probably a couple of years before I even get to play anything like that again.
Yeah. Would you like to? You want some bad news? You want some really bad news? You're probably never gonna get that opportunity.
I know, you're probably right.
Yeah.
I said I'll play it. I'll just be like, man, I'm just gonna sit here and work while you play.
No, see, you're gonna get the point. Like I think like your days of playing Mario Kart and Diddy Kong Racing are still to come. I think you'll still have time for those experiences, but the long like that's the thing. Like when you get into relationships and you have kids and you have all this stuff, right? Well, now I love the Persona series and the Tale series, and I'm playing them now while I still can because there's going to come a point where I'm not going to be able to do it anymore. Yeah. Or if I do it, it's going to be one game a year. Like it's not going to be. It's not going to be the most latest. It's not going to be the latest crate. No, it's one game, maybe two a year if I'm lucky. Like I say it, right? Because I don't have the 100 hours to put into these games anymore.
Yeah, I would sit and play for hours on end. I can't do that now. I can't even sit and read a book that long anymore. I have to get up and move and read like as I walk or shift around. You
have a life and you're trying to make a living as a creative. You're creating shit. That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
Gosh. It's okay.
Busy.
But, yes. Do you have the Team Rocket thing still in your head?
Oh yes. And it makes me smile that my son watches it now because I'm like, yes.
Is Jesse and James still the villains?
They are, yeah.
Oh my
Even
God,
in the
this is-
newer episodes, like they still hang out and like they still pop up, and they're not like the most, like they're not the perfect, like they're not the absolute villains. I don't think anymore, but they're
well,
still there.
they
And I'm
never
like,
they never were really the absolute
mhm.
villains. They were just something to. They were actually comic relief when you get most of the time.
That
Every
is
once
true.
in a while, they would do something serious. But to be perfectly honest with you, they were very. Like I said, they do their big logo. They come in there, they try to kidnap Pikachu in some form or fashion. Sometimes you
Yes.
question Ash's intelligence because like it's the most obvious disguises in the world. Like,
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes.
it's like, how do you do that every freaking time?
Yeah.
Right? Because it's your Pikachu. And your Pikachu, right? No. So then then they lose and they blast
Yes.
off.
Team
And they still
Rocket's
probably
blasting off again.
That's right. You see that? You see that? You're like, wow. I mean, sometimes see, I just think this is my theory about Jesse, James, and Meowth. They're fear junkies. They're total fear junkies, right? Their addiction is to go into the air. I'm not sure how they come down. I'm sure they have a trick. They have to have a trick.
Yes.
Because after it happens the first time, maybe the first time maybe it was like sheer like chance that they survived. They're like, okay, listen. After the second time or the third time, look, we get our ass kicked on a regular basis. We should prepare for the inevitable comeuppance, right? So they blast off. So it's like, I think after a while, it's like, wee, hey, he shot us really high this time. This is
It's probably true though.
Yeah, and just like you just have like Jesse and James getting high off the lack of oxygen at the very top there, and Meowth's like, why am I the adult every fucking time? He was the leader of the group.
He was, yes.
He was the real he was the real leader of the group. Like that was the truth. So I could just see it like Meowth's like, okay, y'all got our high, fantastic. Hit the button so we can do this again in a week. We'll find them again, do it again.
Yes.
Right?
Gosh. Yes.
Yeah, so that's my theory. Jesse, James, and to the lesser extent Meowth were adrenaline junkies. I think Meowth was one too, or he would never let this happen, but he had to be the adult.
Yep.
Someone had to be the adult, and it was him.
Yep. Fell to the Pokemon.
Yes, that's right. So at least he's watching the same stuff that brainwashed you as a kid, right? At least that's
yes, that's it's true. It makes me so happy because like I'm just like, yes, he's following my footsteps, and then he'll do something, and I'm like, no, so let's not do that.
But they're gonna do that.
That's true.
They came from you. They're gonna do the things you did, all of them, and you're gonna look at yourself in a very different light. At the end of this, you're like, I did that.
Mm-hmm.
My parents hate me, but they did that. And then you come to this realization, they did this shit too.
Yep, they did. Although there's some things I still haven't done that my parents did, which
again, you hope.
Yes.
You hope. You hope that your kids do a better job than you did. That's the hope. The reality of the situation, though, is no matter what, they're going to do some of the exact same things you did.
Yeah.
That's just
I know.
That's the way it is.
He's gonna be an adrenaline junkie.
There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong being an adrenaline junkie.
Nope.
There's nothing wrong at all. Nothing at all. I know this. I just had a talk with Stone the doula. He was my first guest of the year. He chases storms. I told him, it's like, yeah, I probably. Yeah, he legitimately chases storms. So
pass on that. You can keep those tornadoes to yourself.
But it again, everybody has their thing. Like, what's your adrenaline check? What's your adrenaline thing?
I was a barrel racer, so anything. Okay, so
yeah. I dated a barrel racer. You guys are crazy.
Maybe just a little bit. I mean, like yelling at your horse and like putting it in its place to make it listen. Yeah, just a little bit.
Well, I mean, I've seen this with horses. You have to be their boss. They will. Not every horse is the same temperament, but all horses can tell. All horses can tell. I can fuck with this person. Like they can tell how you.
Yeah. They can definitely tell, and they test you, and you're like, it's not happening today.
It depends. It depends on the horse. Some
Yeah.
horses are. It depends on their demeanor. The bear racer, her coach had a horse. He would do every damn well please, but he would only push it so far. Right? He wouldn't go like there's a line he had in his head. It's like, okay, I'm gonna take him for this kind of ride, but nothing crazy, right?
Yeah.
Right? Some horses are assholes. Some horses are complete assholes. Some horses are really nice. Again, every horse is a little different in their temperament, but they all can tell how you and it all. So she'll get this. How you sit the saddle will tell them everything they need to know about you.
Yes.
Right. Right. And she's like, oh my God, he knows. He does know. It's like, yes, sit the saddle, ride the horse is the foundation of all kinds of horse riding, including barrel racing. How you sit that saddle is going to determine, what you're going to do.
Yep. I had horses that were assholes. So
yes. So did you grab them by the nose? Did you just like fuck
you? Yeah, sometimes. I had one. The one I used to run all the time. Anytime I would cinch her up, she would glare at me like, I'm gonna bite you. I'm like, you do it, you're gonna get popped. So she got popped a couple times. She still would glare at me. But her daughter, on the other hand, she's got a personality. If she wasn't gonna work, she wanted to rear up, fall back on top of you. And then they're like, nope, we're not going down. I'd still get back up and get on her. So
yeah, well, no, her daughter's like, I'm gonna be more ornerier than my mom.
Oh,
like,
she is. She's very ornery. Her mom's passed away now, but Goldie is the baby. Sort of. She's not such a baby anymore. So she's not as ornery now that she's hanging out in the pasture a little more, but
they do mellow out a little bit as they get older too, a little bit. But you can't know, like I it's a battle of wills sometimes too. It's like, you know what? I'm gonna ride you. They're like, fuck you. It's like, oh, yeah, fuck you.
You're like, let's see about this. It's gonna happen.
Yeah. So horses can tell, and I've learned this. Like, again, I'm not by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not a rider by any stretch, but I do. Like, again, I still remember from dating her some very basic things, and it's just like, you guys are crazy.
Yeah,
just a little you guys are crazy. Great. I mean, strong legs, very strong legs, but crazy.
Yeah.
No, I again, it comes with some benefits of that too, but that's okay. That's another conversation for another day.
Yeah.
But no, it's one of those things in life where you just realize that, again, we all have our things. And for me, I mean, fear's a door. And the thing about fear is you're aware of everything in the moments you're absolutely terrified. So it's easy. Like, on one hand, it can freeze you, but for some people, it's like this incredible high. Consequently, I'm 80 years old. I'm probably jumping out of planes at 80 because I won't give a. Yeah.
If you're 80 and I probably would do the same thing. So if I make it that far, like,
yeah, no, it's just like when it's like, fuck it, like whatever. Like, if it doesn't work, it's going to be over quick. I mean, right. I might need a pair of underwear at the bottom, but I might need a nap afterwards too. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Right. Again, I barely have shame now. So why the fuck would I have shame when I'm older?
Yeah.
I just see myself just be like one of those crazy motherfuckers. Like, why are you doing all this? Like, why not? It's like,
exactly.
Yeah. I remember one of the biggest. They did the Adam Sandler Bob Barker rematch when Bob was still alive in one of these skits. Well, one of the scams, he gave Bob Ebola. So Bob's like 80 something years old. It's like, whatever. Fuck yeah, I'm too old. I'm too old to give a fuck about this, right? And because there's that point in life, like you stop giving a fuck, and it's glorious when you do.
It is, because it opens up more doors.
That's right.
Things to explore and experience.
So I still get the feeling you still. I mean, although I'm sure there are moments when your kid's like, "Don't touch that," and that is an adrenaline high in of itself sometimes, right?
Yeah.
That is. I get the feeling though you haven't really had that like fix on a regular basis anymore. Or do you?
The adrenaline high? Oh,
yeah.
Not compared to what I did when I would run barrels all the time. It's kind of turned into more like it's a workout. Like, exercise kind of endorphin high thing. So that's the closest I get to it.
So I'm just saying. I was just wondering, are you chasing any other highs at this point? Or are you going to at some point? Or are you just going to, like, you're content with where you're at?
I'm content where I'm at right now, as far as I know.
Okay, we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see. I haven't completely ruled this out, and now you've put already enough thoughts in my head, Josh. Shush.
Yes. Well, I mean, I'm trying to work my way back to the whole barrel racing thing, if my husband lets me, because I've had one too many like head injuries, so it's kind of more of a risk than it used to be. But I would love to get back into it in some
like concussions
form.
Like concussions.
Yeah, my family was in a car wreck when I was, I think, 13. We were hit by a drunk driver, and I actually had a subdural hematoma, which is big fancy for a brain bleed. And then it made it easier for me to get concussions afterwards, because after you have a certain amount, like head injury, concussions get easier to get as you go along. And as we know, I was an adrenaline junkie, so like I still rode horses, trained horses, broke horses. Like, I also played softball, cheered, and did all other kinds of stuff. So it kind of comes with the territory. But
you're gonna fall and you're gonna take some bumps and bruises. That's just
yeah.
life.
Oh yeah, I've been trampled, kicked, thrown, rolled over on, like you name it. So
yeah, you're at this point in your life, training an honorary horse is probably beyond your purview. Not because you probably still can't do it. It's just more like there's a
it's
bigger
more
risk.
risky. Yeah.
Right. But
totally still do it.
Yeah,
I enjoy it. Yeah, I would.
No,
my husband would complain. I'll wear a helmet. It'll be okay. That's the same reaction my friends have given me over the years. So if any of them are watching this right now, they're probably shaking their head at me. So.
No. It's honest, right? I mean, you're gonna, like, at the end of the day, we do what we damn well please. Like, we just do.
And I enjoy it too much. You don't want to give up the things you love. I mean, you will change it a little bit, but
oh yeah, all things evolve. Like, all things absolutely evolve. That's just the nature of the beast. But in your case in particular, right? In your particular case, it wasn't on your terms.
Yeah, that's true.
That bothers you.
Yeah.
When it's your terms, it's much easier to let it go. You still feel like you have a couple races left in you, and I right? You do, and you feel it.
Yeah.
You feel it.
I mean, I qualified for like nationals and world when I was doing it, so I mean, it's kind of like, now did I get to go? No, because we didn't have the money to do that at the time. It was also like a lot more traveling than what me and my mom and my horses could do at the time. But like, it's still there. I can still do it, and like, it's just got to be different. Like, go about it differently, safer.
And maybe you don't compete at quite such a high level. Right. Yeah.
I think that would be part of it, just a more like lenient kind of fun kind of thing to do.
Which I think is fine. Like, I mean, I and again, it's not like you're gonna do it every week, right? It's just like
not like I used to. No,
that you can't do. But I feel like, hey, there's this really cool local big event I want to do once a year. See, I somehow think you're going to be back on a horse there at some point, and your husband might say all the things he's going to say, and you'll be like, look, I gotta do this.
I'm doing it still. He can also get sick, like watching me on the horse. So because you've seen sparrow horses, they do the whole prancy trot thing right before they go. I actually made my grandpa sick because he wanted to watch me. I was riding a horse for a lady, and it made him sick watching me on the horse because it was a really high-strung horse, but I didn't have any problem with it. But I don't think my husband knows what to expect just yet, like with it, because I haven't rodeoed and rode barrels like super at all really since we've been together. I was doing Western pleasure and stuff when we started dating, but that's about the gist of it because I was in college.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I'm throwing this all out it's one of the hardest things you gotta do with people you love is you gotta recognize, okay, this is who they are, and that's it, right? And I can tell someone not to do something. I can tell somebody whatever I want to tell them. they're going to give me the finger eventually right, depending on what it is. Because again, just we kind of all know kind of inside us what we're supposed to do and what we're meant to do. And again, if your husband's listening to this, you'd be like, oh, why the fuck are you encouraging her so goddamn much?
He's so weird. It's okay.
Yeah,
watch it later and be like, really?
Yeah, and to which I will look at him and say straight up, she is who she is. You can try to fight this all you want. The truth of the matter is you got to let her do it, because sooner or later she will resent you and everybody else that's trying to prevent it. Like there's a little bit of, you got to let that go a little bit. Now, again, you don't have to do it every week, and you certainly can
just every now and then.
Yeah. Like maybe once or twice a year. That's it. Yeah. And right. And that's all you really want. And that's all you really need. And the rest of the time you can be an adult. And that's it.
And if Harrison wants to do it, I am 100% on board. So because that's and my niece wants to learn too. So I'm like, there we go.
Yeah. But okay, can we be a little honest with a second? Are we doing this for them or for you?
I can teach them and stuff, but like teach the horse. Yeah.
Let's be a little honest there. That one's about you a little bit more.
Maybe just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Right. But no, I mean that's your thing, and it's okay to. I mean, like I said, we are all more than like. Writing is a great passion, but it's not. It uses your energy in a different way, and it's great, but there is a bit of a but that comes with it, and that's this. The but is the simple fact that when and if it's not the same as like the one thing I do kind of miss about my day job. It was physical. I enjoyed the physicality. Like I enjoyed it, but so. I need to find that outlet somehow, some way, right? If I have that outlet, I'm good. But I need that. So that's why I walk all the time, and like I'm getting some of that energy out. Now, it's not quite what I want to do, but at the same time, we're still in a little bit of a crazy time right now.
Yeah, we are. And I think it's actually getting worse here. So, because my mom actually just texted me and said, a couple minutes ago, said their school's going 100% virtual again. So.
Yeah, well, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I watched what happened in Israel in August. We're following the exact same pattern, exact same pattern. And I do think it comes to an end this year based on something I read this morning from the WHO. I think we're going to move past what we're doing on some level. I think good and bad. There's some. I think there's a lot there. They talked about just some of the things that they were planning and thinking, and I think there's going to be, based on some things I've read, some interesting things coming out in the next few weeks at some time. But we're coming to the point we have to, like, honestly, regardless of what anybody does or doesn't do, we got to live with it, and that's honestly that's the only way to be. It really is. Anything else is crazy. It's just absolutely crazy. But again, we're coming to that head. Like that's where we're coming to, and you can see it. It's just, it is what it is. Like I said, reading about Omicron in Denmark and South Africa, it's not as serious, but people are going to be getting sick, and I mean that's always going to be that way, regardless of what people do or don't do.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So we gotta get over. So at some point at some point this year, or at some point this year, we're all gonna at some point go, hey, we gotta try this normal thing again at some point, and just That's my opinion. I don't know. Again, I'm just an asshole with a microphone. So I mean, what do I know? Right. But that's kind of how I see it playing out. But again, what's happening right now is not a surprise to me. I saw what happened in other countries. It's like, it was bound to happen here the same way. It just human biology is universal, no matter where you go.
It is.
Yeah. So if it happens in one place, it's going to happen everywhere else. And the thing is, well, the United States is ahead of Canada. We are behind the curve that is England and Israel. So that's what I've been looking at. And it's like, okay, this is what's going to happen. And this is what's going to happen. And lo and behold, this is what happened.
Yeah. It's kind of predictable. It's,
Well, again, it's just, if you just look, People look for information, they will find it if they really want to. What I find is most people don't. Right, and that's just the way it is. Just most people don't, and it's something I've learned in this time. So I've been like, okay, I've learned, I've evolved. It's just like I'm just gonna let people do whatever they're going to do. Again, going back to something I said earlier, control your controllables. What can I control? Me. That's it. That's it. Everything else is I can be scared, but it doesn't accomplish a damn thing. The reality is, this is life. This is this is the hand that's been dealt. It's time to play it. Play your hand, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, that sounds so depressing, and yet
I mean, it makes sense though. So it's just a kind of a sad time, but it's almost like a time of, oh gosh, do I even want to call it that? Like evolution, like we're evolving. Like it's making people stop and think. Well, not everybody, obviously, but
well, no. I think it's just when, okay. So for me, I faced my mortality, and I faced I had a very unique sickness a few years back.
Yeah.
For lack of a better term, it was a form of nano poisoning. It was a form of it.
Yeah.
It's not. And anyone that's had it will tell you it's not fun. So what I realized is you take for granted how much control you think you have. But once you accept it, you take it for granted.
Yeah.
All right. You're not going to look. The reality is you're not going to make it out of here. And no matter how much people talk about the end is here, blah, 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 blah. And you get reacting like the worst thing you can do is react and be terrified of it. It's just reality. Yeah. So, okay, you come to terms with that. One day I am not going to be here anymore. That has always been true. The real question is, what do you do while you're here?
Exactly.
That's it. Yep. Right. And if you have that ingrained in your head, instead of being terrified of what may happen, you'll be in a much better mental state. It's also a lot harder to manipulate somebody in that state. It's like, I'm right.
Yeah.
It's a lot harder to, because it's like, because I'm like, well, this is my decision based on this. Why aren't you terrified? It's like, not really. I accept the risk. Once you have that, you're free. There's nothing anyone can make you. There's nothing anyone can do. No matter what you choose to do, what you don't choose to do. If you go, I accept the risk. I am willing to take the consequences of my action. That's called being an adult, right?
Yeah.
And that's it, right? And the fact of the matter is, like, I think what we're realizing is you can't force people to do something they don't want to do. That's the reality. No matter how, I mean, unless you want your government to grab insane amounts of power, right? It's happened. Like it's happening up here a little bit.
Yeah.
Right? So
yeah.
Unless you want that to be your future, then you got to realize that the only real answer is, well, you got to let people do what they're going to do. And there's some people, you know what, are going to make decisions like, I'm just going to do whatever the fuck I want. Some people like me, it's like, this is what I've read. I decided that this choice is more risky than the other choice. I will take my chances. Whatever decision you fall under that umbrella is your decision, right?
Yeah.
Or the other extreme is, I'm terrified, so I'm going to do this because I'm going to do the protect the other, blah, blah, like the whole propaganda thing. Whatever. I mean, whatever side, like. So I'm in the, I look at both sides. I'm going to look at what seems to be like the lesser of the two evils, and I'm going to make that choice. For everybody, that's a different answer, depending on their own medical history and whatever. But that's where I'm at. Some people are going to be like, "Oh, this is going to protect you." Some people are going to be like, "Oh, this is the end of this. I'm really in neither of these camps at this point." I'm like, "This is my risk. This is my choice. I'm going to live with the consequences of my actions," and that's it. And once I have that, there's nothing anyone can do to me. There's right. There's nothing. It's like I've thought about it. I've made a decision. I've made my choices. That is all you can expect anybody like me to do. The rest is really up to you. If you feel like one course of action is better than the other, do it. But do it for the right reasons. Don't do it because it's the universal right. Do it because it's right for you.
Yeah.
Because that's That's all you can do at the end of the day because you're the one taking the risk. Either way. So she's like, I'm with you. I'm making you sad. We gotta change the topic here.
No, you're good. It's just a lot to think on because it's a lot of just a lot.
Yeah, no, it is. Like that's me. Like I'm very much. I've faced my mortality, so that doesn't scare me. I've had crippling illnesses where my body's been out of control. That doesn't scare me either as much. Don't get me wrong. I respect both.
Yes,
but I'm not. But yeah, always respect both because you don't.
Yes,
you have less power than you think. But I refuse to be ruled by fear, no matter what, because that is the real infection. And when we make decisions based on what we're afraid is going to happen, is when we usually make the biggest mistakes.
Yep, that is true.
So. Yeah. So we usually end up going exactly what we're afraid of. So that's usually how that works. So
yeah.
Yeah. So I know heavy shit. Heavy shit.
No, and it's good though. Like it's a lot to like process. I'm one of those. I'm like I have to sit and like process it. If that makes sense.
Well, like I said, I'm a little older, wiser. / I give less. I don't know. Actually, to be honest, I don't know the answer on that one. I get the feeling you care about your kids, you care about your husband, and I get the feeling the rest can go suck an egg. Pretty much is
pretty much. Yeah. I mean, and I'm coming to more of that conclusion. Like the older my son gets, and things happen in life. So
yeah. Again, you can't control the hardest blow to everybody's ego in this time. You can't control very much, and that has always been the case. You really right. So what matters to you? Doing what you love. Miss, I'm gonna barrel race again somewhere down the road, right? I'm going to write the best books I possibly can. I'm going to raise my son, and he's going to not terrify me quite so much, right? Once he gets older. He'll scare you in other ways. In other ways. But he won't scare you the same. Like the don't touch that phase will disappear. Go into something else, right? And then you'll be like, okay, this is normal, right? That's what matters. Your husband looking at you, going, "Why are you wanting to barrel race again? What the fuck is wrong with you?" Right? And then on the flip side, you'll be like, "So why the fuck do you want to do this? What's wrong with you?" And he'll be like. And just give you that look, and you'd be like, "Damn it!"
Yeah,
right.
Touche.
Yeah. It's like because we don't have those things in us.
Yes.
That's all you give a shit about, really.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, there isn't it like it's very amazing how very little in life matters. It's really, really, very right.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah. Very little, really, really, truly matters. And once you come to that like realization, and once you come to that like conclusion, you're kind of free. It's like, wait, I can do whatever I want. I can be the world's greatest fuck up, and it doesn't matter.
Yes.
Right.
But getting there is the hard part. Like getting to that realization is the hard part.
Oh no, because you're taught that all this shit matters, and when you realize, no, it actually really doesn't.
Yeah.
But right, it really doesn't. Like the things that a lot of people think matter. Is irrelevant, right? What matters is like again, you're not going to remember clocking into that 9-to-5 job. You're not going to remember that. You're not going to care that much unless it's your whole life, in which case I'm sorry. Unless you really love it. If you really love it, that's different. That's again, that's not you. That's not me.
No.
But there are people that do again, people that legitimately enjoy that process. More bless them. More power to them. Right? But to everybody else, it's like, do you want that to be the majority of the memories of your life? Or do you want, hey, listen, that don't touch that moment with your kid or Harrison holding our show hostage? Do you want the first time you rode that very ornery horse and he's like, you got to actually ride her? That's a cool moment. It's like, yes, I won. You ornery bitch, I won. But you ornery bitch. But you remember that. That matters. Right?
Yeah.
When you first met your husband, that mattered. You got married, right?
Yeah.
This sounds really fucking obvious, right? But
it is, but it isn't. So
yeah. But those are the things that matter.
Yeah, it is.
Right? That's it. Like the rest of this shit is nice. Some of it's nice. some of it's more often than not, it's a pain in the fucking ass. Like what the like more often than not, it's like you want it here. Fuck, please take it. Right, please. Right. That's it. Right. It's those things. I made a choice to be a freelancer. The first time I fell in love, the first time I was in a relationship with someone, like the people I really give a crap about, that means the world to me. Yep. The rest of it does not, nor will it. Yeah, right. It doesn't. Yep. Right. What I'm doing, the things I love. I'm interviewing metal bands next month. I'm actually.
I know. I saw that. I'm excited for you.
Yeah. Finnish band, A Moth, comes in on February 3rd. I do another Canadian band in the middle of the month. I'm going to keep it at two bands a month. It's not, shouldn't be the main. I don't want it to be the main thing I do, but it's just, it adds a little dimension to the show.
Yeah, it does. It's really awesome. So
yeah. So it's like, hey, can you get these guys? Yes, I can. So it's like, oh my God, he's doing it. Yes, I am. And I'm going to try to I have to get bigger acts as time goes on, because why the hell not? But you start where you start, and you work where you, again, I know how this whole process goes. So, but that's what I give a shit about.
Yeah.
The rest of it is batshit crazy. Yeah. Why would I get tied up in that? It doesn't mean a damn. Right? It will change tomorrow. Tomorrow they'll magically say, "Oh, everything we just told you does not matter anymore." It's like, and you're like, really? And then you'll do that, and then you'll move on. Right? Yep. And then the next day after that, oh, some of this shit will matter again. It's like, really? How about this? None of this fucking matters. I think you're full of shit. I'm going to worry about this. Get the fuck out of my way.
Yep.
And if everybody did that, the world would be a much happier place.
I mean, yeah, probably would.
Yeah. But, we are where we are. We are where we are. So, you're doing like a book launch? Are you taking over someplace today?
I am. I'm actually getting ready to take over in the sci-fi fantasy focus group here at 1:00 my time.
Yep.
2:00 Eastern. And I'm also doing a little bit of like party stuff in my Facebook group, the Chapter Goddess Madilynn Dale's reader group. So.
All right. Yeah. So for the elevator pitch, after all this wonderful, big and deep conversation here, what's your book about, and where people find it?
So my book, it follows main character Ember as she basically takes control of her life again. She's grown up thinking she's a latent wolfer. Oh my gosh, a latent wolf. And her family ties her to the son of the alpha at a young age. So she's tied to this guy she's supposed to marry and mate. He's not her mate. And she finds out her mother had a one-night stand with the devil, which was how she was conceived, and that she's not a wolf. And then later she's taken to hell after sacrificing herself to keep the pack safe. So, and then she's dumped into fate's hand and finds out there's more to her and her place in the world than what she realizes.
So, then we'll just do this real quick. Yeah, see, this is where you can get her book. This is the ebook link. You can also from there click the paperback link. Right? So, and how can people, if they say, hey, Black Flames was the experience of a lifetime, or hey, you suck. I mean, either way, how can people find you?
So you guys can check out my website, www.thechaptergoddess.com. It is the easiest place to find all the links to my social media because I'm literally like all over the place. But I am most active on Facebook and in my Facebook group. But I am on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I'm trying to think of what else on LinkedIn. A little bit on Reddit, but it's kind of, it keeps growing. And Pinterest.
Reddit's kind of a wonderful drug. You can find me in the Alice in Wonderland section.
I'm more of like a just reader, watcher, kind of read everything rather than active poster.
You read everything too. I do the Dr. Claw. I'll get you all.
Yes. Oh, and I'm on YouTube, guys, too. I forgot to mention that.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So there's so many places. It's like the links are all on my website. Just go.
That's right.
Just follow.
So Madelynn's got to do important stuff. So we're going to cut this episode right about here. We can definitely talk a little bit more. I think I put some thoughts in her head. She's going to come back at me. She's going to come back at me one day and go, wow, You're completely right, or you're completely on drugs. I'm not sure which. I'm not sure what scares me more.
Yeah.
So for those
So we're
watching,
actually, I think, on a show together on Sunday with Joe. So
we are. We're
yeah.
gonna be there.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna do my due diligence here before we wrap up, and I'm looking forward to that little
Yeah,
conversation.
definitely. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's my only appearance until like April on the show because I got other shit I'm doing.
Yeah.
So for those watching, supporting me, this is my book, Alice 1. It is available now as an ebook. At some point down the road, there will be a physical release this year. It will be kind of a Kickstarter special kind of deal. It's going to be kind of fun. I accidentally invented a board game. That's another conversation for another day. But for everybody watching, listening, if you want to support me, you can do that there. Hit the like, follow button on my Twitch. My YouTube channel is Joshua Pantellaresco. Hit the like, follow, enable notifications there. Stay inspired. Keep shining in the dark. Tomorrow, we're going to be back closer to our regular time. My guest is the one and only Michaela Jade. First time ever. It's going to be a fun one. All right, guys. Have yourselves a great day.